the intensity each and every day that he shows up. I mean, he's dialed in, he's locked in, he's running full speed routes, whether it's a drill. There's a level of focus there that is rare for anybody in the NFL, and day in, day out, he brings it.
We continue now, though, with our Pick 6 at 6, and we had what we knew was the story of the day, and then what kind of became one of the stories of the day as Kliff Kingsbury stepped to the podium.
Number 4.
We start with what became one of the stories of the day as Sam Fortier followed up on some reports. And look, we've all been wondering, but there was a distinct report that apparently Kingsbury is going to interview for the Chicago Bears head coaching job. And so Sam went ahead and asked the question that's on all of our minds and then followed up with a few more.
Do you want to be a head coach again?
Yeah, I'm sure at some point. Yeah, at some point.
Do you plan to interview for jobs this year?
I won't comment on that, but yeah, we'll see how everything plays out. But I'm very happy here. Yeah, this has been an awesome place and has really helped me kind of rekindle my love for the sport.
And last one, but what did you learn from your first stint, and what would you be looking for?
Yeah, I think the first one, I didn't know what I didn't know, really. Coming from college, I had bounced around on teams as a player, but not as a coach on any level. And so to come in there, I don't think I set the foundation the way I would do it after watching DQ and how he set the foundation from day one. And it was, these are the standards. This is what we won't compromise. This is what we're going to be. I definitely could have done a better job of that. And kind of once you don't lay it out like that, it's hard to put it back in. You know, it's hard to kind of reset it. And I think that's where he's done such a great job. It's like, this is what we're going to be from day one. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. And the guys bought in. And, he's led in an incredible way by doing that.
One of the things that I have really appreciated about this season is the way that this staff has worked together. And I think Kliff has tremendously enjoyed being a part of it. And I think it's going to take a damn near perfect situation to pull him. Now, he might look at Chicago with the new GM that he might get to pick and say, I'm going to go work with Caleb and this new GM. And I think we can set up what Dan set up in Washington in Chicago with an ultra-talented young quarterback and let's party. He also, I think, is more likely, frankly, to just stay. He's getting paid head coach money by the Arizona Cardinals until 2027. He's in no rush, and I think he probably wants to continue working with Jayden. He wants to continue learning. Like, 1 year was great. What can I learn in 2? What can I learn in 3? And so there's no rush, and so it's going to have to be the perfect situation for him. And while the competitor in him eventually, once he accomplishes some more here, might say, like, I want to go try that again, he's not an old man, and there's going to be more opportunities down the road. So I don't think anything I heard there changed that reaction that I just gave you. That's kind of what I've been thinking all along. It's always been on the table. I'm not going to be surprised if he winds up taking one, but I certainly would be surprised if I took a job that I wasn't like, that's a great move for Kliff. He should absolutely do that.
Number 2.
Not number 2. Number 2 for Kliff Kingsbury.
Number 8.
Not number 8. Eventually I'll click the right button.
Number 5.
Number 5 in our pick 6. Why? Because there's no number 8 in the pick 6. The running back room has been an interesting up and down section of the offense this year for Kliff Kingsbury. He's got Brian Robinson, who's been excellent at times, has been more average, below average. I thought last week he was better than people thought. Obviously, Chris Rodriguez has come on very strong. They might get Austin Eckler back, full participant for the second straight day in practice. They could activate him as soon as this weekend. Here's Kliff on his RBs.
The same thing. Jeremy's a guy who is just day in, day out, whatever you need him to do, he's going to do. If it's pick up a blitz, he'll do that. The 4th and 5, just the awareness to know he had to get that, or else that game's probably over if we don't get that. Those are plays he's been making all year. So it's been a group that whoever we ask to go in and get it done in critical moments gets it done. And I think that's the greatest compliment I can give in the biggest moments that they've really shown up.
They really have, and I should have mentioned McNichols. Thankfully, Kliff did. What about Rodriguez and his improvement since training camp, where he didn't make the roster but did enough to stick around on practice squad, and then obviously has had some big moments the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, just repetition. new offense that he hadn't played in anything, I don't think, remotely close to kind of what we do. And so there's a comfort level there. He's worked really hard at preparation, prepared like a starter, even when he was doing scout team. And the scout team reps were really good. And so when his number was called, he played at a high level. And the other night, I mean, that's why we had him in on that last drive. He was hot and playing well and helped us win the game.
Sure did. He had 6 carries for 15 yards. He had 6 carries for 23 yards after contact. So had to make chicken salad out of chicken you-know-what. And the chicken salad was delicious that Chris Rodriguez made. Last but not least, the thing that we thought would be the story of the day.
Number 6.
Jayden Daniels and, in many ways, still is, Jayden Daniels and Terry McLaurin make the Pro Bowl. Kliff's reaction to that excellent news.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team sport. DQ brought that up. Everybody's attached to everybody else, and it's a great compliment of those guys in their work ethic, how they prepare, and just how they show up every day. They're two of the premier players and people in the NFL, so it's cool to see them get recognized.
No doubt about it. And to wrap up, obviously, so much we've heard this year from Kliff about Jayden. So what about Kliff on Terry and how much he knew about McLaurin before he got here and what he's learned about him since he's coached him to this Pro Bowl season?
Yeah, that's a great question. Just from afar was a fan, just the way he attacked the ball in the air and ran through smoke, and had heard great things about his work ethic and personality. But I think just the intensity each and every day that he shows up. I mean, he's dialed in, he's locked in, he's running full speed routes, whether it's a drill. There's a level of focus there that is rare for anybody in the NFL, and day in, day out, he brings it, and then it's been showing up on game, especially a guy that we don't target a ton. We should definitely try to target more, and I think as we evolve as an offense, that'll get there, but he doesn't have as many targets as some of the premier guys and still has incredible production.
I love that, Kliff. What would happen? It's been my my commander's career-long question for Terry McLaurin. Anthony, what would happen, just curious, if you targeted him like Justin Jefferson? I don't think he'd be Justin Jefferson. I don't think he'd be Jamar Chase. I'm not silly. I realize how special those guys are, and Terry's special, but those guys are on a different level. But I'm curious, as a thought experiment, what happens if Terry gets 18 targets in a game?
Would be crazy.
Would be fun. I'd love to find out. And it sounds like perhaps next season, if Kliff doesn't leave for a head coaching job and everybody's still around, that we might find out.